People who exercise in natural settings feel more restored, less anxious, angry, and depressed than those who burn the same amount of calories in a gym or other indoor space. Welcome to the Outdoor Mama Podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Jess.
I'm Jen.
And I'm Pam.
And today we're going to talk about mental health in the outdoors. We're going to share a few of our stories and experiences first, and then we'll get into some facts and stats and things you can do to help yourself, even when you don't feel like it.
Yeah. I feel like this is a good time since usually this is the time of year when the seasonal depression kind of sets in for people who experience that.
That was the first time I was ever diagnosed with depression.
Interesting.
After you had a baby, or?
No, back in high school.
Oh, okay.
But it was seasonal affective disorder.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you want to start then with your experiences?
I suppose I could. Yeah, like I said, I was first diagnosed with seasonal depression when I was, I think, 17, but it probably honestly started when I was 16. It was definitely the point in my life where I spent the least amount of time outside. High school parties, football games. I mean, football games are outside, but it's not really nature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was spending more time with friends and not doing things that I really enjoyed doing, but just going with what everyone else was doing, which were parties and drinking and getting into things we really shouldn't have been doing. I remember sleeping 17 hours a day, and I'd miss the entire day.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, and then as I grew up and moved away, not really moved away, but just lost touch with all my friends from high school, I started spending more time outside. I started coaching snowboarding, and that's when things really turned around for me. And I would go snowboarding on my own. Hiking was my favorite thing to do alone, which some people, hiking alone is terrifying for them, but I miss hiking alone. It's not something I ever get to do now.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then the more time I spend outside, the less depression I had, less negative feelings I had.
Yeah.
And then during pregnancy, I had a lot of complications, and I got put on bed rest, and after bed rest, I got put on light work duty, but it meant that I spent a lot of time sitting in an office cubicle by myself without even a window to look at, and I cried every day that I had to be there until I told my boss, I can't do that. Can I stay at least in the main building instead of going to the other building that I was being sent to? Because at least the building at the ski hill that I was working at has windows everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So at least I could see outside, even if I couldn't be outside.
Yeah.
And I got to talk to other people throughout the day, where I was just sitting inside by myself all the time in the other place. And then one day I showed up and they didn't have any work for me to do. So they told me to go home. Like, where I worked is 45-minute drive
So you'd already shown up, like you already got there and they told you to go home.
Yeah. So, like, legally they still have to pay me for 3 hours.
Yeah.
But I also was the driver of the carpool, so I had 4 other employees with me who still had to work, so I couldn't just go home.
Mm-hmm.
So I went and visited Jen, and borrowed some snowshoes from her, and went just for a light walk, just like very flat trail, not a big hike, because I was still not allowed to do much. And the vast improvement in my mood that day was crazy.
Yeah.
Just changed my mood so quickly. And then I was actually able to start working with Jen a couple days a week after that.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. We were both pregnant at the time. We couldn't do much, but
No.
at least we got to, like, I mean,
Hang
we were
out.
still inside, but we got to, like, hang out and look outside and talk about outside and help other people get outside, because we were renting snowshoes and cross-country skis and stuff. And I had no knowledge about snowshoes or cross-country skis before that winter, because I've always been a downhill person.
Right.
Like, going uphill in the winter is why? That's not nearly as much fun.
No.
I mean, I still think snowboarding is more fun than snowshoeing, and I still have not tried cross-country skiing, but they do look fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not into extreme sports, like snowboarding or skiing, then great way to get outside in the winter.
Yeah.
But yeah, just that vastly improved my depression that I was experiencing during pregnancy. And then I really contribute hiking to not feeling like I was losing myself in motherhood.
Yeah.
A lot of people. Like, the first time I took my son on a hike, he was a month and 4 days old. I wasn't even cleared to have a bath yet. But I was like, I need to be outside. So we went out for a hike, and then we never stopped hiking after that. And then in the last 2 years, I've lost 13 family members and a childhood friends, or one childhood friend. And even on the worst days, like, I would still try and get outside with my son. And it was, like, hard to get out sometimes, but I always felt better as soon as I was outside, and I would feel better once we came back home too.
Yeah.
But every time we'd go out, I'd try to just, like, hold it together and not show my son how hard I was struggling, until one day we went for a walk with my mom, and it was springtime. It was a few months after we had lost my grandma, and my mom was running ahead with my son and keeping him entertained, and I didn't have to be full-on parent at that time. So I just let myself feel all the feelings, and I cried the whole time on that walk. I just bawled my eyes out while walking through the trees.
Yeah.
And it was the most healing experience. Like, I battled a lot of depression for those whole 2 years, but after that day, like, it just continuously got better and better and better. I still lost a few more people after that, but it didn't hit me nearly as hard as all the other ones that had come before that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
crazy how it can do that.
Crazy how quickly it can change things, and just being outside just makes things not seem so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. Especially after so many losses. Like, there must have been so much buildup that just needed to go.
It just felt like it was getting worse and worse and worse. And yeah, I had, like, changed my work hours. I cut back on how many kids I was taking care of. I cut back my work hours and limited the times kids could come. And It's like, I need more sleep. I need more time to myself. And none of that was helping until it's like, I need more nature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Amazing. A good cry in the trees is always good for you.
Yeah, apparently. A good cry in the trees is all you need.
Yeah. Done that a few times myself.
Yeah. The trees never judge you.
No, exactly. Pam, do you want to share with us some of your experiences?
Sure, yeah. I've been trying to just think back about everything, but I've really just been thinking a lot about when I got pregnant with my oldest daughter. It was like right during COVID times still, and just in the beginning of my pregnancy, I was experiencing a lot of depression and anxiety, and I was actually having anxiety attacks. And it was like the scariest thing, because I just remember feeling like my heart was like pumping out of my chest, and I would just like burst out into tears, and like my husband had no idea what to do or like what was going on.
Did you know you were already pregnant when it started happening?
I'm trying to remember it. Like, so I was having like depression before, but I think the anxiety attacks didn't start until I knew that I was pregnant. And then there's a lot of like just like nervousness around like COVID and like the vaccine, and then being pregnant. And not to make this into a vaccine thing or anything, but it was just, I was fearful about it because originally my doctor was saying that there wasn't enough studies about it in pregnancy yet, so to like hold off on getting the vaccine for a little while. And then it was mandated at work, and then I ended up getting them obviously while pregnant, and everything's fine and it's okay, but I was so stressed at that point. Yeah, I was just very nervous about it all. And then I started seeing a therapist pretty early on in the pregnancy then because of that, because I was like, even though I felt like everything was mostly under control, I was still like, knew that being pregnant, like your hormones are so up and down, and I was always nervous about like what would happen after baby. It was always a lot scarier about like postpartum depression, and I was scared of postpartum psychosis, and there's just like all the things that I knew about and was just terrified of. And so I found that I was like, I'm just gonna start seeing a therapist so that if it gets worse, it's not scary at that point to be seeing or like needing to be reaching out to a therapist or something.
You already had built a rapport with them.
Yeah, exactly. So it just made it easy. And then once I feel like for the first couple months was the worst for that. But then all of a sudden my pregnancy like turned around, and I was like as happy as can be. Like it was like the best thing. I just remember being so happy and like loving being pregnant. So I don't know, my hormones like took a huge jump and change at that point. But I still continue to see my therapist just in case things changed afterwards. And what I found was I didn't experience postpartum depression, but my husband did. And I had remember seeing some stats about that it is not super common, but it does happen for partners and husbands to get or to experience it because of changes in just like the family dynamics.
Yeah,
and just,
so many changes.
Yeah, exactly. And so he experienced it both times, and it was interesting. It was right around like the 3-month mark. I guess it's pretty common between 3 to 6 months that partners can have it, and I think it's also the same time frame for women or mothers that would be experiencing it too. But yeah, his was, it just surprised me, I guess, at that point.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't really heard about that much. And so many people are just like have that mentality of like, you're not really thinking about checking in on the dads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much talk about postpartum for moms, but I had no idea that it was even a thing for dads.
Yeah.
Yeah, like moms are the ones going through all the hormonal changes and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
crazy fluctuations.
Yeah. But I guess men actually often experience, when I was looking at some of the stats, that men often experience drops in testosterone after
Oh, that's
they give
right.
birth, the mom gives birth too. So, yeah, so that could even be a contributing factor. So, yeah,
Interesting.
I just found that very interesting. So, that's kind of, I don't know, that's been my journey. And I found that when we would get out together as a family and walk in the evenings and just like get outside, we always felt a lot calmer together through things. And every time we start getting into times where we're struggling, I think back to that and like realize that we haven't been going on walks as frequently, and makes me think we need to start doing that again.
Yeah. Did you experience any postpartum depression at all for yourself?
Myself, no. No, like nothing that I would consider postpartum depression. Like I had like moments in time where I was like feeling like down and tired and stuff, but it was only like very short periods of time, like a day or 2 days, and that's really it.
Yeah. And I think that's part of being a new mom and lack of sleep and all of that.
Exactly. Yeah, it's still important to be checking in with yourself. I find I do that quite often. Still even.
Yeah, it's different if it
like,
lasts like continuously, where if it's just a day or two at a time, then it's a little bit different.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I was I went back to my therapist a couple times later on, and we were just kind of like talking about different things and realizing that it's more like situational depression for me, really. It's just not like lasting. So yeah.
Interesting.
How about you, Jen?
Yeah. You guys made me think of so many things that I didn't even consider until now, but I guess with me, it started kind of up and down ever since I was a teenager. But at that time, there wasn't a lot of talk about like depression or mental health issues. So I didn't realize that it was really an issue or that it wasn't normal. Until I probably between like 5 and 10 years ago, I had my own business. I was working 2 other jobs, volunteering for all kinds of things, trying to work out, do all the things, and I just like got too burnt out, and I ended up having like severe anxiety where I was having panic attacks daily, and like you said, just bawling my eyes out of nowhere over like nothing. And I could not figure it out for the longest time. Like I talked to so many different people. I tried so many different drugs to try and help, and nothing seemed to work for me. And then I realized that my dog was picking up on, like, he would start doing certain things before I would have anxiety attacks. And it just hit me one day that it was correlating.
Oh, interesting.
So he would come, like, he would feel me getting anxious, and he would come and start, like, basically trying to sit on top of me.
Like a weighted blanket.
Yeah, and he weighs
he's huge.
Yeah, he weighs more than I do. So once I realized that, I started listening to him, and like whenever he would do that, he would try and pull me. Like he would literally grab my sleeve and like try and pull me out of my chair in my office because I worked from home. And I started listening to him, and we would go for walks whenever he did that, and it slowly started to help. And then the more I did it, the better it got. And basically until COVID, when everything shut down because I work and travel, I got laid off from all my jobs. all my volunteer work was done. I wasn't part of my workout groups anymore. You couldn't go to the gym.
Yeah.
So I was basically forced to quit everything that I was doing that was making me anxious. So yeah, after, like, and it was really hard to, like, transition from doing all the things to doing nothing. So it took some time, but eventually did get better. And then me and my husband started trying to start a family. And I think it was around, I don't know, I can't remember. I'm terrible with timelines. But anyways, we tried for a few years. And then at work one day, I had to be rushed to the hospital. Long story short, I had an ectopic pregnancy. So after years of trying to get pregnant, that was really hard for me. And basically I couldn't do anything. Like, I had felt normal for a while and, like, really happy, and that just, like, threw me for a loop. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to do anything.
Had you known you were pregnant?
I didn't.
Okay.
No, like, I sent my husband home from the hospital while they were waiting for my results to go check on the dog and, like, bring me snacks. Of course.
Yeah.
And while he was gone, the nurse came in and was like, I don't know if anyone's told you this. Do you know what's going on? And I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. And she was like, well, you're pregnant. And she said it that exact way. And I'm like, well, why did you say it like that? I'm like, obviously something's wrong. I'm here in the hospital and getting prepped for surgery.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, it's an ectopic pregnancy. So we have to take you into surgery and see what stage it's at and what's going on and what we can do about it. So, of course, I panicked. Told my husband, like, you need to come back here right away. I don't know what's going on. And then, so told him, woke up for my surgery to find out that they had taken my fallopian tube on my left side. So that obviously sent me into a bit of a spiral because it's a lot harder to get pregnant when you only have one fallopian tube.
Yeah.
And we had already been trying for like 2 or 3 years. So it just felt like I had lost like so much time. And I'm already like mid-30s at this point. My husband's 9 years older than me. So yeah, he'd been waiting for a long time too. But yeah, anyways, that was a bit of a struggle because I couldn't move for about a week too because I was in so much pain from the surgery and just like so depressed. I just had no desire to go anywhere. And again, like, my dog was the one that was like, hey, we need to get out of the house. Get over here. So yeah, luckily, like, I started doing shorter walks with him and then got back to work. And yeah, like a year later, we ended up getting pregnant. And healthy pregnancy, everything went perfect. And I feel like I'm kind of a weird case because I was so emotional for that whole year before getting pregnant. And then got pregnant. I don't think I even cried once during my pregnancy. Like, it was weird. I felt no emotion.
Yeah.
Day to day, yes, like happy, sad, like happy, whatever. But like the things that you would think would make somebody cry, especially when their hormones are all whacked, there was nothing.
Really?
Yeah, so that had me really worried. I was like, oh my god, like, when I have this baby, like, what is gonna happen?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it all ended up being fine. But I really think that getting outside and my dog, like, forcing me to get outside was definitely what I needed to get back to my normal self. And then, yeah, I really haven't had, like, I never had any issues with like postpartum or anything like that. But I think it's because I was worried that these things would come up again. So I was like really proactive about making sure that I didn't sign myself up for too many things and like not working too hard. I was down to 1 job versus 3.
You learned from your past mistakes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even now, like, I still really need to be proactive and like make sure that I keep up with these things, or I do feel that anxiety start to creep up again. And yeah, it's really the only thing that keeps it under control is like getting outside on a regular basis and being with friends too. Like that's something that I never realized before was so important. Because I've lived here for like 15, 16 years now. And after meeting Jess, 4 years ago?
4 years ago.
Well, before that, I should say. Like, I never really hung out with anyone on a regular basis.
Yeah, before we met, I only had male friends. Like, all of my friends were guys.
Yeah.
So, like, we didn't, like, get together to, like, just hang out.
Yeah.
We would go snowboard together or
Yeah.
something. Or, like, we'd all get together as couples, but...
Yeah. I wasn't like, hey, let's go.
Yeah.
Just
Let's go for a walk.
Yeah.
That's not something you do with just, like, a random dude friend. Because
Yeah.
all of my guy friends were married. Like,
Yeah.
Before I was, so...
Yeah.
I just be like, hey, ditch your wife and come hang out with me.
Right? Yeah. It's a little awkward.
No. But I feel like motherhood makes it more important to have a good group of friends.
Yes.
Because, like, doing motherhood together, because we all have kids the same age,
Yeah.
feels so much easier than when I talk to people who don't have
Right?
a good group of friends. It's like, if I'm, like, stressed out and having a rough day and we all go to the park together,
Mm-hmm.
it makes the day so much better and so much easier.
No kidding.
Yeah, I agree.
But again, whenever we get together, we always do it outside.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So it could be the friends or the nature.
Could be a great mixture of both. And I
Yeah.
have a stat about this that we'll share in a little bit too.
Yeah, give it to us now.
All right.
If you're ready.
Let me scroll through my notes here. Because I have a lot of stats. Oh, okay. A Swedish study showed that children and parents who live in places with easy outdoor access have twice as many friends compared to those with restricted outdoor access. So, like,
Twice as many friends.
yeah, so the easier it is for you to get outside, the closer you are to nature, the more friends you have.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because I feel like when kids are outside playing, they're more likely to be with other people too.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're inside, you're normally home alone, like on
yeah.
your own. Like, you're not talking with your friends. And
Like,
everyone's always like, oh, my house is too dirty. I don't want to invite everybody over. Whatever. But, like,
yeah.
sometimes you have to for your mental health.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's easier to get outside and not have to deal with the mess.
Yeah. It's also, like,
yeah.
easier to get outside in a group. Because if you forget something, chances are someone else will have that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
Like-
point too. It happens with us all the time.
Yeah, like, one of us will forget a snack or a diaper or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
someone's always got an extra something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
whatever.
even like on the topic of mental health, like if one of us is having an off day and we're just like lacking the energy or something, like we kind of help each other out with the craziness of the kids too.
Yeah, someone else
Yeah.
can take over parenting your child for 5
Yeah.
minutes because
Yeah.
sometimes they just need to listen to someone else.
Yeah.
True.
And also, like, I think that the kids are often just easier out in nature.
Oh,
because
100%.
they keep themselves busy more. They, like, in nature and with their friends, obviously, because they're busy playing together. They're busy looking at all the things that they would not have the opportunity to look at inside.
Exactly.
I think I mentioned it on our fall hiking podcast, but we took me and another day home, we took all our day home kids out for a hike the one day, and we were both having like crazy, terrible mornings where everyone was whining and fighting. And as soon as we got out and started hiking, everyone was calm.
Yeah.
Everyone was enjoying themselves. No one fought. It was just instantly got so much better as soon as we hit the trail.
And even the times where it isn't instantly better, like when we were hiking and the
that
kids
day.
were like at each other.
The first like half hour of our hike, we looked at each other and was like, do we just turn around?
Yeah. But I just remember being like, but this is better than just being at home with one child and like the chaos of them in the house and just like...
At least we can tag team the tantrums.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we realized they needed to be fed.
Yeah.
We started our hike later. And as soon as we got food in them, the next 3.5 hours of that hike was so much better.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly. I would way rather parent outside and like deal with those tantrums outside than just like by yourself at home.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you're outside and you're dealing with a tantrum, it's just like the trees just remind you to breathe.
Yeah. Because it helps me be calm, which then helps them be calm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, there's more oxygen here. Suck it in.
Yeah.
Like, the wind just blows it up my nose. Right? Like, breathe!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What other stats do you have?
I have a lot of stats. A lot. Yeah. Like I said before, my background is childhood education and development, so this interests me a lot. So I did a lot of reading and research. But I'll try to keep it. I'll try not to go too crazy. This is not directly related to mental health, but it does correlate. So, in a 10-year period, the population of overweight children between the ages of 2 to 5 increased by 36%.
That is so crazy.
That's mind-boggling to me. Like, overweight preschoolers increased by 36% within 10 years.
I was going to say within 10 years. Wow.
Wow.
And I realize that doesn't relate directly to mental health, but kids are mean.
Yeah.
Yes.
And kids pick on anyone who is different.
Yeah.
So if your kid is the overweight kid, chances are they're going to get picked on more than another child, which is going to affect their mental health in the long run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Children who play amongst trees and rocks and uneven ground, like in a forest, have better balance and agility than those who play on flat playgrounds, which also makes them better at sports and things like that as they age.
Yeah.
You never want to be the last one picked for a sport or a team in school, right? Like that.
Yeah.
It's always one that affects kids' mental health as well. So,
yeah.
I mean that. And then,
it just builds their confidence.
yeah. And children with more nature near their homes have less anxiety, depression, and other behavioral conduct disorders, and have higher rates of self-worth than those who spend more time inside.
Wow.
Move into the mountains.
Yes. Right? I have lots of reasons that would make it a great idea to move to the mountains. For parents, teens, people who exercise in natural settings feel more restored, less anxious, angry, and depressed than those who burn the same amount of calories in a gym or other indoor space. So, like, you want to burn 500 calories in your workout, but you're going to do it at a gym or in your basement. You're not going to get the same positive effects as someone who burns that same 500 calories outside.
Yeah.
Which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Oh, yeah. Okay, this one kind of goes back to the first point I made. As school hours increase, then the detachment from the physical world coincides with a dramatic rise in life-threatening childhood obesity, and also shows a link between experience in nature to mental acuity and concentration.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Holy.
The more time you spend outside, the easier time you have concentrating
Yeah.
on other things. This, blew my mind. The use of Ritalin and Dexedrine increased 600% between 1990 and 1995.
600?
600% in 5 years.
Holy.
Oh my god.
That might have just been because they got better at diagnosing ADHD and stuff. The effects of that became more noticeable. But that is an insane increase over a 5-year period.
That is.
And then between 2000 and 2003, spending on ADHD for preschoolers increased by 36%. No, sorry, I read that wrong. Not 36%. 369%.
Oh my god, that's so much worse.
Oh my god.
In a 3-year period. Okay. However, we've now learned that nature can be used as therapy for ADHD, and in some cases it can replace medications or behavioral therapies.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
because that's a way better therapy than medicating your child.
yeah, and the side effects
Yes.
of taking those medications from such a young age.
From preschooler. That could be starting at 4 years old.
That is terrible.
And then you're just taking that for the rest of your life.
Yeah. That's so scary.
Crazy. I have so many stats. Do you just want me to share them all?
Yeah, keep rolling.
Yeah,
I'm
keep rolling.
so interested.
All right. So an indoor childhood reduces some dangers to children, but heightens others, including risks to physical and psychological health, risks to the child's concept and perception of community, and risk to self-confidence and their ability to discern true danger and beauty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about my kid and how he interacts with nature, and I have nothing to compare it to because he's my only kid.
Yeah.
And I've never had a kid that wasn't outside all the time, but just on our drives to daycare in the morning, or as soon as he wakes up, he goes and looks outside. And this morning on our drive, he was like, whoa, that moon is amazing. And I love trees, he was telling me. He's
That's awesome.
The trees are blocking the sun, so it's not in my eyes, and the trees help me breathe. And then he just went on and on about how much he loves trees.
That's so cute. My daughter literally hugs trees, and if she sees the mushrooms and things like that she loves, she'll go and she was trying to kiss them. Do you remember?
Yes, I do.
All the mushrooms. She was so happy. She
don't kiss
them.
the blue one.
Yeah.
That's cute.
She's always just expressing her love of nature. It's so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so you reduce the risk of broken bones, sprains, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But those things heal.
Yeah.
Whereas depression, things like that can last forever. And then my kid is 3.5, and he understands that where we go hiking is a different town because he can see that there's no houses between here and there. No one lives there.
Yeah.
Except for a few farms and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he understands what a city is and what the prairie is.
Yeah.
Whereas if you've never left the city, you're what do you mean? The place where corn grows or whatever.
Yeah.
And then this one just kind of seems self-explanatory. Children who experience diverse natural settings are more physically active, more aware of nutrition, and more civil to each other, and more creative. I mean, we've already talked about how they don't fight as much outside. They don't have to fight over toys when they're outside in nature.
Yeah.
There's enough for everyone to go around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the only time my kid actually eats is when he's outside having snacks.
And my kid knows the difference between a herbivore, a carnivore, and an omnivore. And he knows which foods grow on trees and plants and in the ground. Whereas, like, if you've never seen raspberries growing in the wild, like where we hike, you can go pick raspberries. Like, you just think they come from a store or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the last one I have for children and childhood is children with disabilities who attended summer camps with specialized outdoor programs demonstrated improved initiative and self-direction, which transferred to their home and school lives. And I've worked with kids with special needs in a lot of different areas, but I worked at a summer camp for kids with special needs, and like the difference between like the beginning of the 3-week camp and the end of the 3-week camp was crazy. Like, you could see how much growth happened in those 3 weeks.
That's really cool.
Yeah. But we got to take them like horseback riding and just like a bunch of different things. I mean, one day we got to take them all up in a plane.
Really?
Little like Cessna plane and fly over the city.
That's so cool.
Yeah. It was really fun. All right. Some teens. We have just a few stats on teens. Psychologist Sebastiano Santostefano, say that name 3 times fast, found that nature has the power to shape the psyche and can play a significant role in helping traumatized children because nature allows kids to work through their issues on their own. Which I think relates to my story that I shared at the beginning, like just walking and crying. It was so transformative for me during that period. But yeah, he did a study on teens who were traumatized for different reasons and had great success after participating in some outdoor nature programs.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And then this one goes right along with it. Adventure therapy programs help teens with mental health issues improve their self-esteem, leadership abilities, academics, and interpersonal relationships, and had positive lasting effects on their personalities. Which seems like a weird thing to say, but if you're just like a bitchy, grumpy teen all the time like I was, I'm a much nicer person than I was then.
Yeah, I've noticed that in myself too. Like, I was a very different person when I was a teen. Like, I would get in fights all the time and like was just angry all the time. And like now, like I will avoid fighting with somebody at all costs. Like, I
pretty much avoid confrontation. Any way I can.
And it's, I can just go for a walk instead and cool off. And that anger isn't just like this cloud over my head at all times.
And then the last 2 stats I have are great for parents. Well, anyone, but parents and people who pay taxes. Swedish doctors can prescribe travel and nature activities to improve health and well-being for their patients.
Really?
Which is awesome.
That is so cool.
So book a trip and write it off as a medical expense.
Yes, we need more of that.
And Canadian doctors can prescribe a Parks Canada pass to improve mental health and physical health.
Seriously?
Yeah. This just recently, within the last couple of years, they've been able to do this. But like a Parks Canada pass is like, what, like $186? $136 a year.
Yeah.
Just so like off the top of your head.
I thought it was more, but yeah.
Random travel facts.
Yeah, so you can get a Parks Canada pass for free.
Wow.
Which is a big barrier to getting out in nature because things are costing more and more lately.
Yeah.
So, like, sometimes a weekend to Banff, which is not that far for us, it's just like, wow, the costs add up fast.
Yeah.
Even though it's such a close trip from home.
Yeah.
But if you can take that cost of the park entry off, that saves a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. That's neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Way to go, Canada and Sweden.
Right.
Very cool.
That's all the stats I have to share.
Okay.
So what ones did you find that were interesting?
Yeah, so these were more for parents. So in Canada, 23% of mothers report symptoms of postpartum depression or anxiety disorders within the first year of postpartum. And 33% of Canadian mothers were concerned about their mental health postpartum. And 85% talked to someone. So that would be like their partner or family.
Yeah, that is wild.
Yeah. And then in Canada, 23% of mothers report symptoms of postpartum depression or anxiety disorders within the first year of postpartum. And that number is even higher worldwide when you look at like mothers who are living in poverty or immigrants. Any of those like under marginalized groups of people. They have higher risk factors and more symptoms and cases of mental health issues.
And I just wanted to bring up the one about partners and non-birthing parents. So while it's less studied, up to 10% of fathers actually experience postpartum depression, and it often peaks between 3 to 6 months postpartum. And those rates can actually be higher when the birthing partner is also experiencing postpartum depression. So when I was originally looking at it, I thought it was the opposite, but looking into it a bit more now, it's showing that you have a higher rate of getting postpartum depression.
Which kind of makes sense because
you kind of experience it together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if mom has postpartum depression, usually dad might pick up the slack or that.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. So then...
And everything just gets
piled on
more hard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just snowballs.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Same with, like, for those living in poverty.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you're worried about where your next meal is coming from.
Yeah.
Or, like, how you're going to afford rent the next month or whatever.
Yeah. How do you even have the capacity to take care of a baby and yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously contributing factors include sleep deprivation, financial stress, identity shifts, and lack of supportive recognition. So I think those all
checks out.
Yeah, all checks out.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So the thing that I found interesting when looking up the symptoms of postpartum depression in the partner was that it'll often look different. So I think I didn't recognize it as much this second time with my husband and only found out more afterwards how rough it actually was.
Mm-hmm.
But it says you'd normally think about it as like sadness, tearfulness, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll often look like irritability, anger, and emotional numbness, and withdrawal from family or increased work hours. Risky behaviors, so substance abuse and reckless decisions. There'll be physical symptoms like fatigue, appetite changes, or sleep issues, and then feelings of hopelessness, frustration, or detachment. So when I was reading about that, I'm like, that clicked after that. I'm like, this one for him, I felt like was a bit more of that, like just the irritability. I won't go on into all of them, but like, I really recognized that afterwards. So I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, that's That was the main thing for me too when I had like really bad anxiety, was like the irritability and like how mad I would get.
Yeah.
And I had no idea that that was a symptom of anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
I recognize that in myself, like over the last 2 years dealing with all the deaths in my family. And like, I recognize that I am a much better mom now than I was in the depths of my depression, because I was so angry.
Yeah.
Over the tiniest things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was 1.5, 2.
Yeah.
And like, it's obviously not his fault, but
Yeah.
the smallest things that would just set me off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah,
adding
absolutely.
lack of sleep and all of that on top of it.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But luckily, nature has a lot of benefits.
Yeah.
And it's actually insane, like, what it can do for your body and, like, your nervous system and your brain and all of the benefits.
Like, on a really bad day, go stand outside without shoes on.
Yes.
And like, I feel like you can instantly feel that connection. Like, I know for me, it's just like energizing right away.
Yeah.
Just energizing and calming at the same time.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
They say that the morning sun, too, like when the sun first comes up, even if you get like 15 minutes in the sun, in the morning especially, that can do wonders for like your circadian rhythm, like your nervous system, and calming everything. And then just like giving you that mental clarity and kind of waking you up for the day as well.
That's
cool.
one of my favorite things right now is how excited my kid gets about the colors of the sunrise.
Oh, mine too. He's obsessed right now.
Especially because, like, as we're coming into winter, our colors are just getting, like, brighter and brighter, and the sunrise is getting later and later, so I don't have to be out of bed at 5 a.m. to see it.
Yeah.
I was going to say, we've been talking about that a lot as well in the mornings, and I've never been a morning person, but, like, obviously being up early with kids makes you pretend to be a morning person. But yeah, it's really cool to be watching the sunrise and talking about it and stuff with the kids. It's adorable.
I feel like I'm less of a morning person since becoming a mom.
Oh.
Like, I had a boss that I used to work with, and we'd work, like, the 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. shift together, and she'd be like, I need to be away from you right now because you are way too chipper in the morning. But, like, now, I'm like, I don't ever want to get up in the morning, but
yeah,
I also don't ever get to sleep through the night anymore.
Yeah.
So
that actually reminds me, I don't know if I told you guys when I drove to Calgary recently, the morning, so we got up really early to go up there for a day trip, and that I've decided I cannot do that anymore because I do not function in the mornings, and that was the most, like, unsafe I felt driving, was just because it was in the morning, like, early. Whereas at night, I drove back late that night in the dark and had no issues.
Interesting. After
being up all day and up there and everything. Yeah. So, like, I feel like that right there proved that I'm not a morning person.
How often do you fall asleep putting your kids to bed? Like, ever?
I do. I'm trying to think of, like, my husband does it more than me, I think. But I fall asleep sometimes putting them to bed, yeah. Because I just go in there, we snuggle, and it's just so comfy. You guys do it all the time.
All the time.
Like,
all the time.
70%.
Yeah.
Even when camping the one night.
Oh yeah, we just kept waiting and waiting for you to come back. You just never did.
Yeah, I'm terrible for that because I am a morning person.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't do very well when it comes to snuggles in the dark and staying awake.
It's just so calm and peaceful. Sound machine's on. It's pitch black. How can you not?
Yeah.
You just read a great story.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
But yeah, some of the other benefits of nature for your mental health is that it reduces stress and anxiety. So again, even like 10 to 15 minutes can lower your cortisol levels and calm your nervous system.
Oh, yeah.
So like natural environments can help you shift your body from like the fight or flight mode that I know I was always in when I was having anxiety issues. So it can kind of shift you into a more relaxed state, and then makes it easier to handle parenting challenges, just like we were saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
And again, like we've kind of touched on this too, but it boosts your mood and energy. The sunlight exposure can help your body produce more vitamin D, and that regulates serotonin in your body. So it makes you less irritable, better able to cope with fatigue, which we all need, obviously.
Yes.
It improves focus and mental clarity. And that's something I noticed too when like my dog started like dragging me outside. It's like I would spend way too much time in my office, and without even realizing it, I would just kind of be in like freeze mode where I just can't do anything anymore because all I was doing was working. And then I would go outside for a walk with him for like even 20 minutes, half an hour. I'd come back and I'd like be so productive and get more done in like 20 minutes than I had in the whole like last couple of hours of work.
Yeah.
Again, like we touched on, it encourages social connection. So it opens up opportunities to meet other parents or neighbors, other hikers if you're out on the trail all the time. Promotes physical activity because your body is moving. That's always good for you and your kids.
Yeah.
Releases endorphins, improves your sleep, and helps support your long-term mental health. It can support mindfulness as well. Noticing like the sounds of the birds, the wind, just watching your kid interact with the outdoors too kind of puts you in the present versus having those racing thoughts about all the things that you need to do. And on that note too, like it used to drive me crazy when people would tell me that I needed to meditate. Do you guys meditate?
I had a lot more time to do so
Fair.
before children, and during COVID when I lost both my jobs, I meditated every day.
Yeah.
Is that 24 hours a day to myself? Yeah. But since having a child, I will once in a while, like when I notice I'm starting to get really stressed out.
Mm-hmm.
We're like having an inside day because it's gross outside or whatever, then
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really.
Okay,
Not
well,
officially.
I have good news for you. Snowboarding is a form of meditation.
Oh my gosh.
And I wish somebody had told me this sooner, because I think that's why I love dirt biking so much too, and you guys are so into snowboarding. Because when you're doing those things, you can't think about other things. Like, you have to focus on what you're doing because there's some aspect of danger involved.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, when I'm ripping on my bike at, like, 80 kilometers an hour, or I'm, like, hitting a jump or doing a corner trying to pick my lines and, like, shift gears and just stay on the bike and think about obstacles, like, you don't have time to think about anything else. So that is still a form of meditation. So if your anxiety has you in that state where you just can't calm down, or like say you're depressed and you just can't sit still without having those thoughts that bring you down, you can do something like that, and that's super helpful. And then you're also outside, and you're getting that physical activity in too.
That's so cool. And honestly, literally, you just using the word snowboarding just was like,
like so
this
sad.
makes me so happy.
I'm normally so
sorry.
excited for winter, and I am so not this year. Like, I am so sad about it. I'll snowshoe. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll get to snowshoe.
Yeah. VR is a thing now. You can try that maybe.
It's a screen.
We'll throw some snow at you.
You guys can just snowshoe and pull me in one of those toboggan things.
Oh yeah, I can do that. I'll pull you behind my dirt bike in a sled.
Deal.
Okay, we got it figured out.
On that note, I was also gonna say, like, I've tried to get my husband to meditate, but he plays guitar.
Yeah, same thing.
And writes songs, and like he can't focus on anything else
Yeah.
but that at that moment.
Yeah.
It's not usually outside that he's doing that. He will sometimes when we're camping or whatever, but if you're stuck inside and it's too cold or something,
That's cool, yeah.
pick up an instrument.
Yeah.
Or work out some feelings on a canvas and paint your crazies out.
Yeah.
That's a good idea too. Also something you could do outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better to do it outside and there's less cleanup.
Exactly. And
There's like red paint on my ceiling in my kitchen.
oh no.
Oh my goodness.
That's funny. Yeah, and then the last point I had on that was it gives you a sense of freedom and perspective. So Pam, I think you had mentioned that earlier, or somebody did, but that was one thing that I was definitely worried about, is not being able to like get outside whenever I needed to, or like not be able to travel after having kids. But just being like getting outside and being able to do those things definitely helps make me feel free anyways, and not like confined to the indoors at all times.
Yeah. So I think that there's just some kind of takeaways and some things to keep in mind. That like mood swings, anxiety, and exhaustion are common, but they're not a sign of failure. So it's important to just keep conversations going with partners, friends, professionals. Even little like short walk and talks can be therapeutic. So even when you're in the thick of things, just getting out and talking to people can really help. And start small with nature. So like it doesn't have to be like epic adventures. It can just be like small walks, and whether you're taking the stroller out or just hanging out in the backyard or forest bathing with a baby in a carrier, like there's so many different things that you can be doing. And make sure to include your partners in the mental health conversation, because 10% is still a pretty big number. 10% of your partners could be experiencing postpartum depression.
I feel like the dads might be less likely to talk about some of their struggles too, especially because it's so unheard of compared to like postpartum for mothers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would hope though that if this is someone you're making a child with,
Yeah.
that you guys have a pretty open like relationship regarding discussions.
Yeah.
Like, you should be able to talk to them about anything, because
True.
some major things just happened with your body. So,
No
like,
kidding.
Yeah. That conversation should be able to go both ways.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it's just important to just check in with them. And if you have friends who are becoming parents or are parents, it's good to be checking in with the co-parent, not just the mother. And I think it's important to build a support system before you need it. So like I started seeing a therapist ahead of time just to have it there. But you could be doing that with your friends. Like you could be joining local hiking groups, baby wearing meetups, online forums, tons of different things to just have that there before you actually need it.
Yeah, that's a good, really, really good tip.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, send us a message if you're interested in joining us on a group hike or snowshoe.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm going to plan something.
And I just say make things easy for yourself where possible. So I found when I was struggling to get outside, I would just make it part of my routine. I would just, after dropping, because I bring my daughter to daycare part-time, and so I would drop her off, and then instead of going home, I would just have plans to go for a walk right at that point.
You're already out of the house.
Already out of the house, it's easier. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, get a dog. It'll drag you outside, whether you like it or not.
I've actually tried to convince my husband to get a dog for so long. For that reason, it would give me a reason to go outside every day.
Yeah.
I love that.
I know that's not always practical, but I just had to say it because, as I mentioned, like, that was super helpful for me.
Capone's a rock star.
He is.
Yeah. Oh, the best dog.
Yeah. The only other thing that I really have for tips that Pam didn't mention is to prioritize rest. It's kind of funny coming from me because I have a really hard time with this.
But you learned that.
I did.
After working 3 jobs at a time.
Yeah. I know, like, how important it is and how awful I feel when I don't get that rest. As much as in the moment, I really hate that rest time because I always feel like I should be doing something, but you can't do all the things all the time. So you're going to have to rest at some point. So you might as well plan that rest so that it doesn't come in a different form of like a sickness or anxiety or something like that.
Absolutely.
My big tip goes along with making it easier for yourself, but I always keep my hiking boots in the car.
Mm-hmm.
And then all I have to do is get dressed and walk to the car. That's the step number 1. And then once I'm in the car and driving somewhere, everything feels easier. I'm also the kind of person who likes to make most of my own food from scratch. But I will always have pre-packed things that I can just grab and throw in a snack bag for the days when I don't have the energy, but I know we need to get outside.
Yeah.
I always have something that's just easy to grab, and it might not be as nutritious, but it'll keep them full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if that's the difference between getting outside or just getting overwhelmed and not ending up going anywhere, then yeah, so be it. Hey, we do have a question.
What's our question today, Jen?
So our question for this episode is, how do you force yourself to get out of the house when you can barely get out of bed?
So I feel like what we were just talking about, making things easy for yourself is important, because then, like, you got to do those when you have the energy, obviously, ahead of time for the days that you don't have the energy.
Yeah.
Also, think about nature as the antidote to whatever it is you're going through. And you're more likely to get outside. Like, instead of popping this pill, I'm going to go for a walk.
Yeah.
And that will make me feel better. And the rewards for that are like stress reduction, better physical health, more creativity, and just a sense of fun. And for me, it feels like a more fulfilling life. I don't find staying at home to be all that exciting.
Yeah.
When I look back on my life, I want to be able to think about all the time I spent outside experiencing things and not stuck inside.
Exactly.
I feel like all the days just blur together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I feel too. Like, I know if I don't get outside, no matter how bad I'm feeling, when I'm making all the excuses to just not do anything, because I don't have the energy, I know that if I don't get outside at all, I'm going to feel so much worse at the end of the day, just knowing that I've like wasted my day being inside doing nothing versus like going on an adventure. Even if it's just a drive or something like that. And like, honestly, those days where I've wanted to like cancel a trip or cancel plans because I just didn't have the energy or like the mental capacity, those are some of the best experiences that I've had looking back.
And those are usually the days you need it the most.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. That being said, I do think that it's important to, again, on the topic of rest, give yourself, like, if you need a day or two here and there to rest and just be a lump, that's fine, but you only get 1 or 2 days.
Yeah.
Unless you're like down and out with like a terrible sickness of some kind. Like.
Yeah, unless you're physically unable. Like, being inside is not going to do you any favors. It's not going to help your mental health at all. So even if it's just sitting outside on your step in the morning sun for 10 to 15 minutes, just get out and do it. And sometimes having like a healthy meal before you head out. Like, it sounds silly, but like, think about the energy and like the content that you're consuming too. Like, if you're seeing negative content all the time or like hanging out with negative people, that is not gonna help you. And then maintaining your physical activity and getting outside too. Like, your body, the more you do it, the more your body will get used to it and crave it.
Mm-hmm.
So even if it's hard starting out, especially like being a new mom and like having to think about all the things, like if you have everything ready and you make a habit of it, then it just gets easier and easier until eventually it's more painful to be in the house doing nothing than outside doing something.
I just remember that like as a teenager, there'd be days when I would just take the blanket off my bed and throw it on the lawn in the backyard.
Yeah.
And I would just lay outside in the sun and read a book or a magazine. And like, I wasn't doing anything more than I was when I was in bed.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But it was outside.
Yeah.
And it just the sun and the fresh air can help so much.
Yeah, exactly.
I use my toddler to convince me to go outside sometimes. I will tell her, or we'll make a plan to go outside, and so she knows that we're going to go outside.
So
and then I have to. I can't back out of it then.
Yeah. Brilliant. Tricking your own mind.
Yeah. It's funny sometimes.
Yeah.
She's like, but I thought we were going to do this. I thought we were going to the park. Yes, we are.
You are correct, small child.
Yeah. And even if you have to bribe yourself with a treat or something, that works too.
Mm-hmm.
A little trip to the coffee shop downtown and a walk.
Yeah.
Bribed myself with Starbucks this morning.
There you go.
Like, if I go out, I'm getting Starbucks on the way there.
It works.
Yeah.
It was also much needed after a 3 a.m. wake up, but...
Fair. Yeah. Necessary.
Yeah. I could have made it at home, but it's not as good.
Not the same.
And then you're not getting outside.
No.
Okay, well, I really hope that this was helpful for people. And thank you guys for sharing. I know it was hard to plan talking about the things that are not so great about our mental health, but...
Yeah, we've known this episode was coming for a while.
Yeah.
We like almost recorded it and then like, no, we need another week before.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's good to talk about. Like, everybody's had different experiences, so.
Yeah.
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 I actually find it quite interesting that we all had very different pregnancy experiences, but none of us experienced postpartum as harsh. And maybe that's because we got to do it together. And maybe that's because we all made getting outside a priority.
Yeah. I think that was a huge part of it.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for listening. And like I said, if you're interested in joining us on a group hike in the spring or a snowshoe this winter, send us a message on Instagram. It's always easier to get outside when you're with a group of people.
Yep.
We're fun. We like making new friends. That's why we're doing this.
Yeah. And we promise you'll feel better after you get outside.
And if you don't have a carrier, we'll have extras that you can try out. So.
Yeah. Lots of carriers. All different
Come
kinds.
along.
All different kinds, yeah.
Bring your babies.
Yeah.
I do have a final quote I would like to share.
Okay. Let's hear it.
The quiet wisdom of nature does not try to mislead you. It doesn't make you feel like you have to conform to any image. It's just there and it accepts everyone. So, in a city, we're constantly surrounded by ads and billboards and commercials and things like that trying to tell us, you know, you need this skincare product, you need these clothes, you need to do this. There's nothing like that in nature.
True.
It just allows you to be exactly who you are as you are without trying to change anything or convince you otherwise.
I love that.
Yeah. That is awesome.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Outdoor Mama Podcast to stay up to date and get more tips and tricks for all the adventures with your little ones.